It's 223 students. Maybe wait 1 more minute, then we can start, yeah? Can you hear? Okay, so Sarah is asking, can you guys hear something? Me ranting. Uh, if, for example, your laptop doesn't work for any reason, I don't know, the speaker is not working or something, I would not. Yeah, I think it's maybe a good idea to log in with your phone. It never really, yeah, with your phone, it just nothing really happens with the tech shoes. It's more predictable. You can maybe open a slide on your own end, and the Mentimeter, of course, you can just yeah. It's okay. One Mentimeter you don't do it is not a big deal, but I think not hearing something is more important. Okay, 250 students. Let's start. Okay, so welcome everyone to your second online lecture to operations and supply chain management. So if you guys have any tech issues, for example, you cannot see anything, the screen sharing, or if you don't hear anything from me, just please just type it in the chat. I do read the chat all the time. Okay. Okay. Next slide. Oh, a very funny thing. I was told in the corridor the other day that I have very good vibe when I'm giving online lecture. Do I have good vibes? I'm a, I think I'm the most chaotic among all the other lecturers, to be honest. Like my hair is still expensive, washing my hair. But yeah, that's my vibe. Okay, let's start. So yeah, this is again the setup of the course, and today we're going to going into week 2. We're going to talk about manufacturing and packaging. Yeah, in the offline lecture, you will work with your class lecturer on a case called Solve the Cluedo. Okay, hopefully you guys like the case. Um, yeah, so this is the literature you need to prepare yourself with this week for these two topics, manufacturing and packaging. Okay, so the textbook, I don't have to, I think, repeat again. It's the book you guys have already. Besides which, you also need to download an extra printout from Brightspace. Okay, it's an extra chapter on packaging. Okay, the reason why we do this is because the textbook has very limited information on packaging. So there's an extra printout. The content is also pretty straightforward. The chapters we took, I think, are considered easy to. It's pretty readable. Okay, it makes sense, that type of printout. Okay. Here also states to where you need to read, so you don't need to go into the very technical part. So before labeling regulations, you need to just read. After that, you don't need to. Okay. So this is the objectives for this week. We will discuss different manufacturing perspectives. We have to understand customization, explore packaging types and functions, and learn about unitization. These concepts are key to understanding how products move from factory to the shelf. Okay, so okay. Again, just like last week, you will need your phone to participate in this interactive lecture, online lecture. You need to log in with your phone. Okay, I will do the same as well. Okay. Go to menti.com. So you guys just spamming the thumbs up. Okay. I'm in. Okay. So if you're logged in, you can just leave your phone on this page. We'll wait a bit, yeah. So far, I have only less than 200 students. I'm having problems with Menti. Okay. Mm, yeah, maybe you can log in with your laptop as well. Just yeah, swap screens or just leave it. Yeah, it's just an interactive means. So I think missing one lecture is also not that big of a deal, but try to work it out. Yeah. Wait one more minute, or maybe use your iPad. If you're in school, then maybe you can also just do together with your classmates. George said, I cannot hear you. If anyone else has this issue, let me know. So if it's only George's issue, then I guess it's your speaker. Maybe George, you can log in with your phone to participate, to listen to the lecture. Okay, thank you guys for responding. Yeah, good to know that you can hear. 234 students. Okay, let's continue. So about manufacturing. So let's warm up with the matching activity. So here you have some pictures. Okay. Looking at these pictures, my question is, do you know which manufacturing industries are being shown here? Okay. So this picture has a yeah brand name here is pretty obvious. It's Tesla. Okay, so it belongs to, of course, automotive, yeah, automobile. Very good. And the second picture, which industry is this? I see a lot of emission. Yeah, it's it's a picture of pennies. I think Dutch students know what pennies is. Yeah, where the biggest oil refinery is located in the Netherlands, right? Um, which picture is shown here? Yeah, so it's a picture taken, yeah, when you are standing on the ground and looking up is the skyscrapers, right? So, yeah, architecture. Okay, yeah, this is easy. Lekker bread from Albeheim, right? So it's bakery, right? Okay. This, what are we going to talk about here? We see a living room, right? With furnitures fit perfectly into this room. I see a central, yeah, central aircon system here. I see, sorry, ambulance, right? I see, yeah, all the shelves, yeah, and everything. Okay, we call that whole house customization. Okay, so automotive industry, oil refinery, skyscrapers, bakery, right? Whole house customization. So when the customer, of course, wants a designer to yeah to design the living room just like this, we call that whole house customization. Okay. So long story short, these industries indicate different manufacturing characteristics. Okay, so in the following Mentimeter, can you link oh, sorry, where in the following Mentimeter, so next slide, can you link the right yeah, industry to the right manufacturing process? Okay, let's start Menti with phone. Okay. So which of the following emphasizes customer specific design and high customization? What is customization? Most students has chosen whole house customization indeed, right? As the name indicates, right? It's customer specific. So how specific does it need to be, right? Depends on the size of your house, depends on the design you would like for your style in your house, right? You need to customize it. So the customization is based on the customer's needs and wants, right? So you have to negotiate, discuss with the customers, right? Indeed, whole house customization. Okay, next one. Which of the following typically involves small batch production with frequent recipe changes? So most students has chosen bakery. Indeed, it's a small batch production. What does small batch mean? It means you don't produce too much, right? So it cannot really be automotive or oil refinery because production goes on, right? Preferably non-stoppable. Otherwise, the production efficiency will be disrupted. So bakery, right? So you only make a batch of the bread, right? With yeah, different bread, then you need different recipe. Okay. Next one. Okay. Which of the following, eh, sorry, which of the following is characterized by high labor intensity and long project timelines? High labor intensity. Yeah. Okay, so most students has chosen skyscraper construction. I think maybe construction in general requires high labor intensity, right? The reason why high labor is still being utilized here is because when it comes to massive projects, we don't have the technology yet to streamline the process. So it has to be project by project, yeah, scenario. Okay. Some students might think whole house customization one student, right? So it's also labor intensive, but not as compared to skyscraper construction. It's not as labor intense. Okay. Next one. Which of the following is most likely to operate continuously 24/7 with minimal human intervention? Hmm. We have a competition here in between automotive and oil refinery. Let's see who wins after all. Sorry. Sure. Okay. So the winner is oil refinery. Indeed. So automotive, however, doesn't require 24/7 yeah, operation. Okay. Yeah, so like oil refinery, however, is right. So you have to operate continuously when, yeah, the marine, yeah, those those unrefined oil gets transported and then gets processed, right? So everything has to follow through the system continuously. Okay. Automotive, however, it does have robotics, does have minimal human intervention, but it's not running 24/7. Okay, next one. Which of the following involves the most robotics and a streamlined process? I think, yeah, choice is pretty obvious. It's automotive industry, yes, and I agree with the most of you. When it comes to robotics, right, it's being, of course, applied the most in automotive industry, smart manufacturing, right? Um, I think it also involves very minimal human intervention, but supervision is still much more compared to oil refinery. I think oil refinery can also indicate a streamlined process, but not many robotics are being involved here. So the answer is automotive industry. Okay, good job, guys. Okay. So Earlier, we identified different manufacturing characteristics which fit in different industries. So, manufacturing process decisions are very important because if you choose the wrong manufacturing process, here, child, that's not mine. So, if you choose the wrong manufacturing process, you can waste a lot of money and time, and maybe it's not even effective with the production itself, right? So different processes have different strengths and weaknesses. It's pretty obvious. So in conclusion, here are the five basic or classic manufacturing processes: production line, continuous flow processes, job shop. I would actually change the sequence. I would put batch production first and then job shop. And then we have the last fixed position layout. Okay. Each has its own strengths and weaknesses. Okay. So, for example, batch production. Earlier we mentioned in a bakery, right? So you need to produce small batch, right? With frequent recipe change. You need batch production. You cannot have production line to make, for example, the bread. It's not entirely. It could be a semi-production line for a bread that, for example, needs to be supplied in bulks as possible. But in a small bakery, for example, production line is not really applicable, right? Think about all the small bakery in your neighborhood, right? They just have an oven, they have some people to work on the bread, so it's batch production, right? Without a quantity, without a volume, yeah, it's not really necessary to invest in production line, which costs a lot of money. The same thing goes for continuous flow processes, which is used for oil refinery, right? I don't really need to invest in such pipelines and such continuous flow system, right? Because they cost a lot of money for something that's only produced in small batches. Makes sense? Job shop is something like when high customization is being needed. Okay, so think about any luxury items. Your watch, for example, needs to be repaired, right? Yeah, these things you need to pay a craftsman, that is a skillsman, that skilled person to really fix your watch. Right? So it's really handled in a job shop environment. Yeah, and then we have fixed position layout. Fixed position layout won't be really the focus in the exam because it's mostly regarding mass project and really engineering related. Okay, so just know fixed position layout is normally for products like a big boat, like an airplane, where it's being yeah produced in a dock, like for a vessel, for a boat, it's produced in a dock. For an airplane, it's produced in a big giant warehouse, right? So it's called fixed position layout. You can also say, oh, those buildings and constructions are, yeah, manufactured in a fixed layout, fixed position layout. Because yeah, you cannot really move the buildings from place to place, which is also not entirely true because some productions of those constructions can move to places. For example, Marktal. So I think everyone knows the Marktal. It's actually not being manufactured in black, like from scratch. It's yeah, it's being manufactured in modulars and being shipped over to Marktal, and then they are being like yeah slided into each other. If you guys are interested, you can look at them. Yeah, but manufacturing documentary for Marktal. But most of the buildings are fixed position layout. That's why it won't be really the focus for us. Okay, it's too much engineering related. Okay, so you need to know all these manufacturing processes and how they can apply in different industries and their pros and cons. Okay, you have to study this. Okay, so each of the five basic manufacturing processes have certain characteristics, which also include different layout. So let's look at how manufacturing layouts can differ. Okay, so product-based layout. So what is a layout? Layout, think about where the product is being manufactured, right? You have to think about, okay, where I should put the tools, how should I arrange the resources? So in order for me to produce, this product. So a product-based layouts are more like assembly lines, okay? So where resources are arranged sequentially. So think about automotive industry, where how a car is being manufactured. So you start with one part of it, and then you do the interior, and then you do maybe the mounting of the tires. So it goes very smoothly from in to out, right? So according to the steps required. Functional layout, also called process layout, of course. So in different books, they're called different names. Functional layout group similar tasks together. So, for example, so I have some examples, like at your home. Okay, in the morning, what is your process? In the morning, for example, I wake up, I need to brush my teeth, and then I need to eat something, and then I need to go to the loo, need to use the toilet. Then I need to shower. Then I need to watch TV, right? So it's functional layout. How, right? I don't watch TV in the toilet. I don't eat in my bedroom. Not true. I do eat in my bedroom. Oh, gross. I don't watch TV, for example, in the kitchen, right? So I have to go to a very specific area to exercise certain functions, right? Where resources are physically grouped by function or type of operation. I have some examples here as well. For example, hospital, right? You have to go to radiology, surgery, etc. So these departments are grouped by function, not by patient flow. So you have to go where you need to be, not according to your process, right? Not according to your patient flow. They designed the hospital, not at all. Then we have, of course, the cellular layout. Cellular layout is basically a hybrid. Okay, we call that a hybrid layout. So it's kind of in the middle where machines are grouped into cells. Cells are different areas, okay, grouped by different product family that require similar processing. Some examples, for example, are electronics manufacturing with different cells, right? In a cell, you might produce all the types of circuit boards that share similar steps, right? And then in different cells, you have different product families, or maybe a furniture production, one cell for a wooden chair, for the wooden chairs, the other cells for tables, for example. Each in each of the cell, you have your own mini production line. Okay, yeah. So basically, there are different examples for different layouts. So you can also check the book for more examples, or use these two examples to help you understand the differences between different layouts. Okay. Can we rewatch this lecture? Oh no. Shall I record now? Because I was told not to record. Okay. Okay, I start recording. Choose what to record. Okay, cool. But did I already miss the important stuff? Okay. Okay, next slide. So here is the summary. So this slide summarizes the processes and the layouts, okay, and their applications, right? So notice also, so I have different manufacturing processes here, and without fixed position layout, as I mentioned, it's not going to be the focus. So also notice how customization becomes easier in job shop process and not in, for example, production line or continuous process, which doesn't really allow for customization at all, because customization would mean you have to change the layout of the production site completely, or which costs a lot of money. So they don't try to customize too much. Okay, here, but in a job shop process, we do allow for customization. In fact, customization even pushes for, a job shop process, its existence. Okay, think about your daily life. Okay, uh, yeah, when you have very personal interaction with maybe the skilled person or maybe the service center, it's normally is a job shop process or batch production process, which allows for higher level of customization. Okay, and the question really is, how often do you encounter customized products? Let's take a look. Okay, I have a Mentimeter here to ask you, can you customize the following products? Or which of the following do you think you can customize? Good answer. I think I see that most students have already submitted the answer. Okay. Uh, Looking at the statistics, McDonald burger seems to be the most popular with yeah to customize, followed by a Tesla car. Okay, then we have Nike shoes, then we have an Apple phone, then we have 100 euro dress, then we have a daily meal, not by yourself. Okay, how can we customize a daily meal? Then we have Oreo cookies, then we have Jillian lipstick. Okay, people don't really think you can customize the Campina milk, and I totally agree, right? Okay, sorry, I'm gonna mute you. Okay, to your surprise or to our surprise, actually, we can also customize Oreo cookies, but not the cookies we buy from the supermarket. If you guys go to Oreo, their official website, you will find out some campaigns they do in order to for the customers to customize the cookies. Not just the cookies, you can customize. You can also customize the packaging, right? Especially for yeah, gift packaging. You can even print your own design, your own pictures, and yeah, and then gift it to someone else. Students mostly think you can customize a 20 euro dress. I think 20 euro dress normally comes from CNA or H&M. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. Does H&M also provide customization for 20 euro dress? 100 euro dress, I understand, right? It's pretty expensive. So people probably allow you to, yeah, make certain changes. Okay. Apple phone, because I don't use an Apple. So you guys have to tell me, can you customize your Apple phone? I don't know. Don't we buy the Apple phone just from No. Okay, you're set though. Yeah. Maybe a phone case or something, but I don't think the phone itself. Okay. Tesla car, however, I do agree you can customize, but you cannot customize the major parts. Okay. You can customize the color, the interiors, the wheels. Yeah, these things for a lot of cars actually you can already customize. Gillian lipstick, nobody believed. Oh, some people believed, but it's actually possible. You can customize the color. You can even yeah, send your own request to the manufacturer. However, the Jillian lipstick will be very expensive. So normally it's like 30 euros. But then with this customizable lipstick with your own color and packaging, it costs about 70 euros. Okay. So most students choose McDonald's burger. Yes, I agree. Right? You tell them, oh, I want lettuce. I don't want share like I don't want the sour cucumber. Right? These type of options we do get in McDonald's. So the real question is really not can we customize them? Yes, limited. The question should be to what extent can we customize them? Or to what extent are we even involved? Are we allowed to be involved in their manufacturing? That's the right question, right? I have a joke here. You guys can read it in your own time. Okay. So all the pictures I show here. So to your surprise, right? All these things can be customizable. Okay. Even a meal. Okay, so this company they do like they test your blood, they test your genes, and then they come up with personalized nutrition assessment and tell you what kind of fruits you should eat, what kind of veggies you should eat, and they even send the meal to you daily. Okay, for people for example who want to lose weight, who want to I don't know right. There recently there's a lot of anxiety to battle against like uh, like aging. Okay, it's getting a bit crazy, anxious. Uh, right. So there's this crazy guy. What's his name? Brian or something, right? He is like getting the blood transfusion from his son, right? He eats very, very healthy things every day. And yeah, and he does a lot of Botox on his face as well. I think most people know what I'm talking about. If you don't, please look it up. It's pretty anxious. Okay, I don't really like it. Okay, but this is also a trend, right? People paying too much attention to being able to stay young and healthy, right? And yeah. So so look at these pictures. We know all of these things allow for a certain level of custom custom yeah, customization. Okay, so maybe not to the level of what you expect with customization. For example, some students build up their own PC or their own laptop. You build everything by yourself, right? You buy the parts and you do yourself. Or maybe a car that you assemble from scratch. I have some students as well. They really are, yeah, they're really interested in, for example, mechanics. So they build cars themselves. Okay. But all the pictures I show here are nothing like that. It's nothing from scratch, but you do get certain choices, but with limitations. Okay, we call that mass customization. So customization is a new concept I have to introduce here, where the mass customization combines the efficiency of mass production with the flexibility of a certain level of customization. Okay, why do we do that? And it's getting more and more popular among millennials, Z generation, X generation. So you, your generation. Yeah. So with both opportunities and challenges required. So opportunities, for example, allow you to make certain uh, choices, right? So it makes you feel, oh, it's very personal. You are attached to it, but it also, yeah, requires certain challenges for those manufacturers, right? So, for example, oh, if I want to offer my customers customization, to what level should I let them participate in my design? Yeah, to what level do they feel, oh, okay, this product is more personal than mass produced, right? So this new concept is also the trend these days, mass customization. And if you look at everything in your life, um, how do products stand out, right? A lot of the companies, they offer customizable packaging, for example, customizable recipe, for example. However, the majority of the production is already done, right? But they do make you feel you're involved. But are you really? Okay. So that's a new concept. So yeah, so in order to talk about customization, we need to really figure out where does the customer's order hit the supply chain. Okay. So it depends on different levels of customization or yeah, depends on which moment the customer's order comes in, and yeah, and their needs and wants are being heard by the manufacturers. Yeah, we have different categories or different manufacturing strategies. Okay. MTS here is make to stock, involves no customization. So think about all the generic products that you can buy from supermarket, the butter, Campina milk, the I don't know, uh, the cookies that you can just take off of the shelf, right? They are make to stock. Stock means where the customers already buy them, right? In a supermarket, in a retailer. Okay. Then we have a higher level of customization. It's called assemble to order. Okay. So you can assemble. So think about in IKEA, right? So you can customize only at the end of the end of the manufacturing process. Is really after the manufacturing has already taken place. You can combine and choose. You can choose and combine the parts. For example, IKEA kitchen. Okay, IKEA kitchen is ATO, is assembled to order, while most of the whole house customization is actually make to order, right? So you still use standard components, but the final configuration or assembly is still it is can be customer specific, right? For example, in majority of the whole house customization, indeed the products are already produced. The parts, I mean, right? The cupboards, for example, they're standard components, but they still have to cut it. They still have to maybe even put the certain layers, certain leather on the outside, right? So they still have to make it for you, right? Um, yeah, so assemble to order, make to order. Sometimes these two concepts can be a little bit confusing. So it depends really on if the manufacturing is already finished or not. Then we have the engineer to order, which is mostly a job shop product. So the products are designed and produced from the start, from scratch, to meet very unusual or very specific customer needs or requirements. So a lot of the high-end luxury products, for example, a yacht, right? Yeah, is designed according to customer needs. Makes maybe a wedding dress, but not a wedding dress like you and me are going to wear. I will never wear the wedding dress engineered to order, right? But think about those luxurious wedding dress designers, right? They design according to the celebrities' different needs, right? Okay. Some examples. So supermarket for make to stock, McDonald's, right? Assemble to order. So all the lettuce, tomatoes are already there, right? So they assemble for you according to your needs. Then we have BMW, make to order. Yeah. So for example, certain specific needs you have for the performance for the car, they also allow you, right? But only big brands, car manufacturers, not those smaller brands. Okay. Then we have engineer to order, for example, a vaccine. Vaccine is produced based on, yeah, different viruses and the people's. Okay, yeah. So it depends on when and where the customer order hits the supply chain. You can see here, this is a yeah typical flow of the supply chain, right? Okay. Then we have different manufacturing strategies. Okay, this Kardashian chair doesn't exist. Okay, but you can click on it. Okay, first of all, if this was for real, then this chair would be, I think, make to order, right? Depending on the size of the butt. Yeah, MTO for Kardashian. Okay, but this picture, if you guys click on it, you will also see more explanation about different customization levels. Okay. Okay. time for a break for 5 minutes. So come back at 11:18. Okay.
Sorry, can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I didn't understand when you explained the different layouts, I didn't understand the difference between product-based and process layout.
I
Can you
understand.
explain that, please?
Of course. So think about in your house when you are waking up, right? So where do you, so in the morning, I have to brush my teeth, I have to wash my face, I have to eat something, go to toilet and make food and watch TV, right? So think about in your home, it's a typical functional layout. So you're not like a you're not like a car that just goes from, goes in the manufacturer, like your toothbrush are not going to show up magically next to you. And then when you are done, and then you're not going to be in the kitchen right away. You have to go downstairs for the kitchen. You have to be upstairs, brush your teeth. Then you have to go downstairs again to, I don't know, take a shower. So the resources are really grouped by the functions. Okay. Like in the hospital as well, it's also grouped by the functions. Where in a car manufacturing, manufacturer is really grouped by the step, the process. So think about a car goes in here, right? Yeah, the frame is being done, and then the next step, the wheels are being done. The next step, you're gonna paint it, right? So it really goes from the process perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
And for product-based, it's just they are sequentially, right? They are just one for
sequentially. Yeah.
yes,
But if
one
you're,
for one
if
thing.
yeah, if at home it's sequentially, then it's gonna be really fun because you're going to use the toilets, I don't know, 5 times a day. That means you're gonna have 5 toilets,
Oh,
which is
okay.
not possible, right? So that's why
Yeah.
it's functional groups. I go where I need to exercise the function.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Of course. Okay, break time, break time. Are you guys back? Let's continue. We choose and combine the assemble to order. Yes. So you can only choose and combine. You cannot really, they don't really produce anything for you. So everything is ready and then take it for you. Let's continue. I don't know why I have so much going on today in the background. There was an ambulance, and later on, I heard like helicopter and stuff. I hope everything is okay. Now, how are we doing chat? I don't understand. Okay. I think most of you are there already. Okay, so yeah, welcome back. So now we shift to packaging. Okay. Packaging, however, is not just about wrapping products. Okay, what we are going to talk about today is also about protection, branding. He's referring to us with speed. I need a translator. Okay, and logistics. Okay, so earlier we talked about manufacturing, so now we have to talk about packaging. Packaging and manufacturing also come really very much hand in hand. Okay, but we're also more talking about from a logistical perspective, so not just for the design of the packaging. Okay, okay. Let's yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed your really you guys starting again. I hope you guys enjoyed your break. So please take out your phone right now. Let's start Mentimeter. Okay. Give you guys 2 minutes to think of a product you bought recently. Okay, what is it? And did the packaging play a role in your decision? If yes, how? I can take answers here. You can also go down to see other options without going to the next slide. I need to figure that out next time. Okay, so I have some good answers. For example, food, right? So yes, the brighter packaging caught my attention. Indeed, right? When you're going to supermarket, when you have very similar products, yeah, just put there next to each other. How do you decide which one is better? Besides the price, right? Of course, the packaging itself. If it's more better design, right? You tend to trust, okay, maybe this is yummier, right? Uh, okay, most of the things, no. Okay, no, just make to stock products. Okay. Lego looks cool, right? Actually, there's also something to talk about over Lego's packaging. They always show you what it will look like, right? So then you know, oh, this is the product I want, or this is the, for example, my son has a lot of Lego for Harry Potter, for everything, right? If it doesn't really, yeah, connect with Harry Potter itself, why would I buy this Lego, right? It looks, packaging looks cool, indeed. Okay. Okay. Next Mentimeter. Okay. Distribute 100 points. Which of these packaging elements influence you the most? Okay, so if say packaging does play a role, okay, when you buy a product, distribute 100 points. Which of them influence you the most? Okay. Mhm. Okay. I see almost half of the students have given an answer. Okay. Good question, right? So, which of these packaging elements? So, here are basically everything I think included, order for the manufacturers to think about packaging in general, right? Most students think design and layout, the visual appeal, or how the information is organized, plays the most important role, right? I think so too. It has to attract the customers, right? Followed by branding, for example, the logos, brand name visibility and recognition. So the brand itself needs to catch your eye, right? Catch your attention. Okay. Then we have material. So kind of materials. Okay. Information clarity. So I think the information on the packaging also indicates how serious is the manufacturer, right? Ingredients, for example, instructions, benefits clearly shown. Yeah, also the premium feel. Premium feel also gives you kind of this feeling that, okay, yeah, this product has good quality, right? Okay. Then we also have size, shape. So it needs to be compact, ergonomic, unique shapes, functionality, right? For example, a lot of the food product needs to be easy to open. It has to be resealable, right? If you cannot finish it immediately, right? Or provide certain level of protective protection so that yeah, the product doesn't get broken instead. Of course, there's also transparency. So students tend not to think about sustainability. Okay, students chose others. Can someone maybe share? You can unmute yourself. What kind of other packaging elements did you think of? Oh, yeah, I have one here. Diana said it also depends on the product I'm buying, right? Of course, of course. Uh, Someone wants to talk about the others, other packaging elements that you can think of? It's okay. You can also leave it in the chat, yeah, when I read your chat. Yeah, a vegan label, indeed, indeed. It needs to be very careful, right? If this food is yeah contains animal product, it's purely vegan product, indeed. Very good. Okay, so yeah, uh, as I think established earlier, I think one of the most important functions is indeed to attract customers or to make sure that the product is able to present itself in a retailer, in a supermarket when we go shopping, right? So we have some examples here as well, right? We consider all of these functions mentioned here, for example, from sales, from promotion, service, product information to protection. Okay, certain level of protection, yeah, to handling. We call them, yeah, from the consumer's perspective. So this handling is not really for like the logistical companies handling. It's more for the, yeah, for us, for the consumers self product handling, right? So again, it's easily for me to take. Yeah, for example, I have some pictures here. Um, think about this packaging of this batteries, right? So it's a grouped, four of them grouped together. It shows you all the information. First of all, it's a triple A. Let's see, what am I talking about? And then it's a rechargeable type of product batteries, right? The capacity of the battery, brand, right? And this a little their yeah their spokesperson here, and then yeah, lasts 3 years. Guarantee, right? Also, I think what's most important is this little hole here, right? Why? Up to be able to hang next to the cashier, right? Because it needs to be next to the cashier to also we call that to basically stimulate your impulsive purchase, right? So think about when you go to Lidl, when you see these batteries, you constantly ask yourself, oh, do I need this? It's only when you see those batteries you start asking yourself, right? So a lot of batteries we have at home are impulse purchases. Okay, then we have different. You see here is the bright packaging, right? Very nicely what's inside, the different flavor. Here is a little bit of protection, right? If you guys cut those vulcanized open, you will see inside is silver. Why? It's because it needs to provide certain level of, yeah, what's it called, like isolation to different temperatures, right? To make sure that the food inside can be still fresh after a long time, 2 years, let's say. And then we have also for sales purposes all the beautiful products here. For example, the perfumes, right? Yeah, this bottle looks prettier. That's why we choose this type of perfume, not just the scent, but also the packaging. Why? Because you need to want to present it to a girlfriend or to a boyfriend, right? So, as a gift, right? So we call that consumer perspective. Then from industrial perspective, we also have different packaging functions. So it's mostly about efficiency and safety. So I have some examples here as well. So it provides the functions such as to protect, to store. So for storage purposes, for handling purposes, this handling is not for customers anymore. It's for those logistical companies. They are able to, for example, handle the products in bulks, right? For transportation purposes, right? Also, of course, for protection and during transportation, and also information. This information is not really for the ingredients or for those brands information, but most likely the barcodes for yeah. So what is a barcode? Barcode is those stripes that you have to scan in order to obtain certain information for what is inside, but not the ingredients inside, but most likely what product it is. Yeah, how many products are there, right? And when does it need to be shipped out and where does it need to be shipped to, right? So we have, for example, a carton box here. We have a pallet here, right, with different carton boxes loaded on top of pallet, right? Then we also have like a sealable plastic around it, right, to make sure they stay in place, okay, for easy transportation and handling. Then we also have those plastic or foams or paper. Those are molded, packaging material to provide cushion for protection purposes, right? So fragile products don't get, broken during transportation or during handling, right? This is a container. Well, that's easy to understand, right? Why do we need a container? So we can transport it easily. So we don't have to take all the small packages in and out. We can just move this container easily onto a ship, onto a truck, right? And also it's very rigid, very robust. So you cannot really easily break open this container, right? And if it falls onto the ground, for example, it also provides the ultimate level of protection to your products. Um, then we have here, so this is also the industrial packaging processes. So from a base product to an inner pack, a carton box, then we to a case. So a case is with different levels, different quantities of inner packs. So for easy handling and easy distributing. Distribution of the products means to send it to different, for example, supermarkets, different warehouses, right? Okay. Then we have packaging here, also called flexible devices. So here is mostly talking about the devices itself, the tools we use to transport, like bags, like those wraps or pallets, right here. So what makes them flexible is that you can add a bag or mount different pallets, right? You can adapt those packaging in size. Okay, you can adapt so that their size can adapt, right? So flexible packaging, like those bags and wraps, they're cheap and adaptable, but of course it has downsides too, like vulnerability and traceability issues, right? We have also IKEA pallets here. So IKEA uses paper for their pallets, so they print those pallets on the spot when you need, okay, for example, a pallet, they really print it. A few years ago, before Corona, I took a group of students to IKEA. We had a behind the scene tour. And we saw how those pallets are being printed on the spot. Really interesting. Okay. Yeah. So if you guys are interested, maybe next time I can also organize another trip. Okay, then we have rigid devices. So mostly I'm referring to just container. Okay, so this rigid packaging refers to those containers that offers better protection and efficiency. But of course, it also comes with higher costs and less flexibility. Okay, so think about which industry would prefer rigid device transportation. Of course, is for bulk transportation. When you have a lot of products, it reduces damages, of course, because you cannot really punch through the container. If you can, let me know. Or pilferage. Pilferage means internal theft. So basically, theft in general. You can't really steal things easily. You can't really lift a container and just bring it home, right? So of course, it also provides a certain level of protection. And also reduces environmental impact. So one container can be used, all the way, for example, from Rotterdam to Shanghai, and it has to be shipped back from Shanghai to Rotterdam. So you don't always use different containers, right? So it kind of also reduces, the materials needed for packaging. But of course, the con or the disadvantage is its fixed dimensions, and it's very expensive, and people can really steal it, just not easily, right? Okay. You guys share. Okay, then we have labels here, labeling regulations, functions, and techniques. I won't go into too much details here. So labels are crucial for compliance and communication, for sure, right? They tell us what's inside, the ingredients. They tell us how to use it, the instructions. They tell us whether or not the product is safe. So, for example, in different countries, you have different classes of hazardous materials, and all of these information needs to be attached on the packaging. So it tells you information. For the exam, of course, you don't really need to know, okay, which regulations need to apply or something, or the labeling, yeah, those yeah regulations, not at all. Just know that yeah, this that just packaging plays a role, okay, yeah, in telling you the information. So this is enough, and also maybe some technologies that need to be used for packaging. For example, the RFID. RFID stands for radio frequency identification. So basically, it's like a chip. When you guys buy some jackets in a supermarket, not supermarket, in a clothes shop, for example, you need to yeah need to make sure that the radio frequency is being turned off, right? So all the ping needs to be taken off. Otherwise, yeah, if you steal something, it goes beep 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 when you goes out of the when you go out of the shop, right? So we have barcode. This is QR code. This is RFID. Okay, chip. Okay, so all of them are basically used to tell you the information for yeah for something on the packaging, right? Okay. Here we have 10 minutes. Okay, so here we have to introduce a very important concept. Okay, this is the last concept we have to cover for today. Okay, we call that unitization, also known as the building blocks concept. Okay, unitization is about grouping products together. Okay, so for example, earlier I already showed you, right, the process of grouping, yeah, yeah, consumer products into a carton box. We call that secondary packaging. And then a few of these units need to be loaded into a bigger unit. We call that tertiary packaging, right? So why do we do that? Well, it's for easier handling, for easier distribution. So from individual items, yeah, and then you group, all the way. They have to be loaded onto a pallet. So this process streamlines logistics, of course, right? Uh, Here is the process, right? Okay, you guys can read it yourself. So it starts with how the individual products are packed in cartons, and then the cartons are packed in master cartons, and then the master cartons are put on pallets. Then we have pallets are loaded into those containers. Makes sense. From smaller to bigger products. No, from smaller to bigger units. Sorry. Yeah, and then these are the key terms. So you really have to know what they refer to. The units, right? Master cartons, a unit load. Unitization refers to the grouping process. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so we have, let's test your spatial reasoning and understanding of unitization. So why do we need to know the process unitization? Because it's just only logical, right? We cannot transport everything one by one. Okay, so let's take a look. Start the quiz. Oh, there's a timer here. So how many boxes are on a pallet? You have to check your phone. Many of you are. So looking at this picture, how many boxes are on a pallet? So you can count here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 per layers. Per layer. How many layers do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 layers. So if 6 per layer, 5 layers in total, 30 products are on a pallet, right? So you have to use your spatial reasoning a little bit. Okay. Is it fun? Is it stressful? Next one. Okay. So this one is more challenging and also more fun. Okay. This was once a very popular challenge on social media. Okay. I think it's also a nice way to wrap up today's lesson. Okay. Can't turn it on.
Excuse me, ma'am. I did. Still, I don't get my quiz. It doesn't show that.
Yeah, I have same issue. Wait. Uh, why can't I turn it on? Hmm, wrong. Can't turn it on. It's okay. Next one. Next one. Something's wrong with it. So basically, this is to ask you guys to look at these three pictures. So this is the side view, this is the back view, and the top view. And then you have to think how many boxes are on a truck like this. Okay. Maybe you guys can, yeah, help yourself. Yeah, discuss yourself maybe in your free time. Okay. Yeah. The question really is how many boxes minimum are on a truck. Okay. We can go to the next one. So this is the uh, minimum number of boxes are on a truck. Okay. To the next one. Box measuring 20 by 20 by 20 centimeter needs to be packed into a larger box measuring 60 by 60 by 50 centimeter. So how many of the smaller boxes can fit inside the larger one? And uh, start. Can you guys give me a second? I think I know what the problem is. 1 second. 1 second. I think I know. 1 second. 1 second. I am back. Okay. I think Mentimeter is having some, maybe can try again. Okay. So work now? Okay. How many boxes maximum are there? Does it work? Okay, the correct answer is 18. 24 responses are correct. You guys are good. Really, really fast. So yeah. So basically, how can I get rid of the yeah, so it's 20 by 20 by 20, right? Per box. And then yeah, so you have to think. So 20 by 20 by 20. And then you can put 2 layers here, and per layer is 9 boxes, right? If you ignore the thickness. Okay, so the answer is 18. Okay, so this is basically unitization, yeah? So I have 1 minute before we start with the quiz. So again, I want to introduce you to a new case. It's called Solve the Cluedo. Yeah, so the workload, of course, for this week is again, it's an 890 plus 90 plus 90. So 90, we're done already. So we have again 10 minutes of the quiz, and then 90 minutes for self-studying, and then 90 minutes for the offline workshop. So make sure you read the book, check the slides for the concepts, okay? Yeah, so that's okay. 1 minute. Do you guys have any questions before we head into Brightspace?
কুইজ দিয়ে দিছি মেবি নাকি?
Yeah, the quiz is in Brightspace. Okay. Brightspace. Let me check. Yeah, if everything is alarm went off, so it means it's quiz time. Okay, so content. You can do your quiz on your phone or your laptop, doesn't matter. Okay, week 2. Let me check if everything is okay. So Sion, can just speak?
Actually, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Does the workshop contains new lessons, new lecture, something new?
No, not at all. Just like last week, the workshop is purely about what we discussed today, manufacturing strategies and the unitization, packaging.
Okay, because I have on most of my class students, we have back-to-back online and then workshop and then again online. So I was thinking if I not come, would it be okay?
Then maybe you can discuss with your lecturer, maybe go to different lecturers' workshop, because I think the workshop is very important for you to practice those concepts we just discussed.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but of course, it's not. I think it's not recommended for you to always go to a different lecturer, but you have to discuss with your lecturer first. But I understand the setup is the schedule is a little bit inconvenient. We did discuss with the schedulers way at the beginning that we want an online day, but they didn't listen. So it's out of our control. So yeah, you guys also have to think: is there anything you can do, or maybe do other online lectures at school? That could also be a good idea. Okay. Okay, so don't forget to do the quiz. It ends before 12:15. Okay, so just click on it. Let me know if you guys cannot launch it, yeah? Launch quiz. Can do it. I'm going to stop the recording.